Hey everybody, this is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and welcome to Friday Fun Live. We have a lot of fun things lined up for you today, but I owe you all a song from last week. So let me go ahead and get that ready here. Hold on a second. I'm going to move this around. All right, so I can actually read what I'm going to be playing. Um, okay, there we go. Close enough. Yes, still have a little bit of that cough with me, but hopefully that'll be going away in the next week or so. Well, last week, um, you all were very generous. We reached another $100 goal towards a uh, towards our charity giving, and I just realized something. Hold on one second here. I just realized my mannequin doesn't have anything behind me, so let me go ahead and deal with that. And one more thing. One more thing. Got to turn on my twinkle lights. I confess I was a little distracted today getting started. About 20 minutes before going live, I got a call from one of my grandsons. So I had to talk with him, and I didn't finish getting things all settled for you guys. So let me just go ahead and just thank you for the donation. We have $100 that will be going to Show Hope, which is an organization created by Stephen Curtis Chapman and his wife. And it helps people to be able to afford adoption, people who don't, let's say, have the money for all the fees. And it's very expensive for those of you who may have adopted in the past. It's not a cheap thing to do. It's quite a financial investment. And so what this organization seeks to do is to help those families in need so that they can bring a child into their homes who otherwise would not have a home. So which is a wonderful, wonderful thing. All right, well, let me go ahead. I'm going to play two of my I have so many favorites, but two Christmas favorites. Instead of doing a parody, I thought this would be more fun. So I'm just going to go ahead and play a couple of these for you and hope I get it right. One of my favorites, Joy to the World. So I wanted to play another one. It's not as well known, but I just love the words to the song. I love the melody as well, and I'll probably be reading this to you all at the end of the time today. But it's called "Come, Thou Long Expected Jesus." This is another beautiful hymn written by John Wesley. Anyway, I hope you like that. This This time of the year, I just can't get enough Christmas music. So forgive me if that's not your thing. I would play Christmas music all year long if my family would let me. But in order to keep family peace, we don't play it all year long, just here and there. So anyway, let me go ahead and say good morning to everybody. Good morning, Angie and Wanda. So good to have you here, my friend. She says, finally getting my tree decorated. Yay. And Phil says, good morning from Evansville, Indiana. Well, Phil, I'm hoping that you're able to get some rest in a place that you call home, wherever that is. But thanks again for the way you serve us with your truck deliveries. We all owe you truck drivers so much. So many thanks. And good morning, Stephanie and Ekstrom. It's good to have you joining us from Sweden. She says, moving house was more difficult than I thought, but after the initial depressed feelings, I'm mostly happy about it, thankfully. Yay. Well, I hope you're feeling better. Excuse me. We're getting ready to help one of our kids to do just that. It's going to be kind of a major relocation for him and his family, but yeah. So yeah, I understand the feelings of being depressed about it, but I hope things work out. Hope you're able to find friends soon. She also says this morning, Sweden celebrated Saint Lucia, a white-clad girl wearing a crown of candles, and her following go from door to door singing psalms about light shining through darkness. Oh, that is so wonderful. Um, I have heard about that because one of my girls had I forget which one it was, but one of the American Girl dolls that also celebrates this tradition. I can't remember it. Hannah, if Hannah's in the chat, she'll remind me of which one it is. But I think it was a doll that Becky had that celebrated Saint Is it Lucia? Probably mispronouncing it, but yeah, is it Lucia or Lucia? One of those, showing my lack of intelligence here once again publicly, but hey, that's okay. We're always learning, right? Anyway, it's been a while since I've read those books with my kids. And Linda, Brad's mom, thank you so much for being here. Good morning to you. She's wishing us a blessed day from sunny and frigid Southwest Chicago suburbs. Yeah. Last physical therapy is early this afternoon, so I'll leave early. Well, I hope that goes well. Tell them not to hurt you too much. I know my sister Brenda was in physical therapy as a physical therapy assistant, PTA, and was well acquainted with the term pain and torture, as PT instead of meaning physical therapy. But it's all for the best. I hope that goes well. And thanks for the reminder of the thumbs up. If y'all can give that a thumbs up, that would be great. But again, no pressure. Don't ever feel pressure from me or anybody for that matter. So anyway, Hannah, thank you so much for being here. And Karen, good morning or good afternoon. Yes, I'm gonna say good morning, good afternoon. I'm gonna go ahead and pull Hannah's comments up here. I'll get that all situated. I'm blaming this on one of the little ones, Hannah, kind of jokingly. Um, had to play some songs for one of my little guys on FaceTime so that I can get their approval. Make sure I still remembered which keys to push. All right. Okay, thank you. Hannah's filling us in on American Girl stuff because I know Hannah's the expert on this. Is it Kirsten is Swedish and comes to America, and in the Christmas book, she dresses as Saint Lucia, dressed in a white dress with a crown of candles on her head. Becky has that doll. Yes. Excuse me again. All right. Thank you for filling me in on that, Hannah. We have Diane joining us from New Jersey. And Red Hooked says, hello, Bonnie, and a happy Friday the 13th to you and all my Yarny friends. Yep, Friday the 13th. Ain't scared. You got to be superstitious to believe in that stuff, right? So welcome, Friday the 13th. It looks like it's going to be a good day here. It's not raining like it did all day Wednesday. It was so great to see the sun come out yesterday. Oh, thank you, Hannah. Hannah just sent me a picture of Kirsten, or is it Kristen? It looks like Kirsten. Yeah, Kirsten. Okay. And Ola Joe, so good to have you here, and just waving right at you there, my friend. So good to have our friends with us. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Ola Joe. She likes my sweatshirt. This is, you're gonna laugh at me, but it's okay. You'll appreciate this too, because I know we're all budgetarily minded. This is a Big Lots special I got, I guess, a couple years ago. And what's really fun about it is it's really held up. It holds up to the washing and the drying. I don't have to worry about it. And I forgot to add to my to-do list. I added up the yardage. Um, a- yeah, the yardage of all the designs that were released this year on the Bonnie Bay Crochet YouTube channel. And yeah, I added up all the yardage, and it basically came to another marathon of crocheting. And what I mean by that, did I add up the numbers? Hold on, let me get the numbers. Hold on. I got the numbers in a let me go ahead and read these to you. I have these in the pages document. Here we go. Pages. All right, let's go back here. All right. So I have a pages document. So the actual yardage, this is not including anything that I crocheted at conferences. It did not include any swatching. And with the duplication of a couple of designs that I've done here, the totals are actually more. But it added up to literal 45,503 yards, which is 1,300, 1,000. Let me try this again. 45,503 yards of material. That's just what was released on my YouTube channel just in 2024. And that comes to 136,500 feet of fiber, which comes to 25.8 miles. Now, if you add in some of the duplications that I've done, if you add in the classes that I've taught on the Watch channel in Pittsburgh, and certainly with the swatching, um, the totals are well over the 26.2 miles for another marathon of yarn. So last year it went just slightly over. This was just slightly under, but that's about the threshold of what we do on this channel each year. So if you're looking for new designs, we roll them out a couple times a month or as often as we can. And it might even be, and that doesn't actually include the stitch videos that are just teaching stitches. So, so yeah, so what I've done, I don't have one to show you. I hope to have one in a couple weeks, but I'm releasing a brand new sweatshirt or a long sleeve uh, shirt. I really like the long sleeve shirts. And it basically says, I don't run marathons, I crochet them. And then it has the circle with the 26.2, but it represents miles of yarn, not miles run in a race, if that makes sense. I know this sounds kind of weird and corny, but I wanted one. So in case that's something that you want, and who's going to know if you really did that much in a year? And you can wear it, and if nothing else, it'll get conversation started, right? So anyway, that is now available in my Teespring store. There is a link in the video description for the Teespring store, for Bonnie Bay Crochet. That's spelled Tee, or sometimes it may just be spring.com. But if you're looking for fun t-shirts and sweatshirts and things, I love wearing these. They do get conversations started, especially if you go into yarn stores. Um, so they have some others there. There's another one that says Got Crochet, and it has about 7 or 8 languages that it says, Got Crochet, question mark. I've got that one. And there's another one that's The Key to Happiness, which is basically a list of the key of the abbreviations for reading crochet patterns. So anyway, we have some fun things there. I don't usually promote them that much. I just figure they're there, and if anybody's interested, fine. But I'm really excited about the one about the marathon, because that's just what we do. That's just what I do, and it's going to be fun to wear. And I really love wearing long sleeve t-shirts, but there's going to be some sweatshirts there too. You can check out. Excuse me for drinking, but also to let you know on the Teespring store, I've reduced the prices as much as they will let me, because the recommended prices are usually really kind of crazy high. I cut that way back. So I try to make them accessible and don't want them to be any more expensive than what I would personally pay. So I don't know if that helps or not, but I'm more interested in people enjoying something fun to wear rather than in the profit margin for me personally. So just to let you know, that's been adjusted way down, and that's on purpose. Okay. Pardon me again. Sorry. All right. Um Let's see, where did I go? That was Ola Joe's comment that got me. Thank you, Ola Joe. So, oh, did you see what I got? I have to show you. I got this Noel sign yesterday. Can you see this? The Noel sign with the sheep and the sunglasses. They had all these things on sale at Joann's for like 70% off. So it was just a few bucks. Normally a lot more. So that was kind of fun for me. Going to Joanne's yesterday, and had a fun thing happen too. The um, the computer kind of stopped working, so the lady had to input all these numbers by hand, which was a, not a fun thing for her to do. But to her credit, she really held her composure and she did great, even though the line was probably 15, got to be from 2 to 15 people deep while I was standing there. And instead of the usual grumbling that sometimes takes place in grocery lines and extended waits on department stores and things like that. It was really fun. We started talking with each other, and I promise you, it felt like, when I left the store, I felt like I was leaving friends. So again, a testimony to you all, to crafters, to people who are quick, I think, to see the positive rather than to jump on the grumble bus. So, and besides, it's the holiday season, and holiday as short for holy days, which I think is really appropriate. Whether you're, no matter what you're celebrating, if you're celebrating in the Christian tradition or in the Hebrew, Jewish tradition, whatever. These are holy days. So holiday is actually a good word. Um, it's kind of been maligned over the years, but it's actually a very good word. But anyway, it was just kind of fun yesterday at Joann's, and just a really good time waiting in line. Just really got to know people, and we just had a blast. I know that sounds weird, but we did. Um, all right. Oh, Ekstrom's not familiar with those books. You're gonna have to check them out about the American Girl series. It's the earlier ones anyway. I can't really vouch for the ones that were written in the last 15, 20 years, but the ones that were the older original books have a lot of really fun, wonderful history in them. And my girls blew through all of them, of all the characters. It was very, very, very well written, at least back originally. I, again, don't know what they're saying in the modern ones. I'm not a fan of those, but the old ones are really great. And Kelly Miller, welcome. Uh, she says, I enjoy your channel a lot. Just wanted to tell you, praise you. Oh, thank you, Kelly. That is so sweet of you. Thank you for being here and joining our live. Um, and thank you all for checking on each other in the chat here. I'm looking at that. And yes, Wanda says, yes, God is good. Amen to that, my friend. Um, thank you, Angela, about the sweatshirt comment. Thank you. I'm seeing a couple of comments now. And Kelly Miller says, praising God that my 81-year-old mom will not did not suffer any fractures or breaks this morning when she fell. Our God is always faithful. Oh wow. Yeah, that's a good thing to be thankful for, Kelly. Yeah, we are also thankful that Hannah's grandma, who's 95, did not suffer any breaks, did have contusion and some bruising and some pain afterwards, which is not unusual when you have a fall. I think the older you get, I think the more that can be pronounced. But I am so glad that your mom is okay, Kelly. That is a blessing. Oh, thank you. Is it okay, where did everything go? Is it Baharti? Okay, hold on. Here we go. I got is it Bahrate? If I'm saying that correctly, forgive me if I'm not, but so thankful that you are here. Thank you for your kind comment. You are very kind. And Judy says, "Joy to the World is my favorite Christmas carol." It's definitely one of mine, Judy. That oh come all you faithful. Ah, it reminds me of a story. I try not to cry. Um, I remember where I was. I was singing in a child's choir at my old United Methodist Church in Hialeah, Florida, in a special Christmas program. The first time that the words that we were singing actually hit me. I was probably a preteen or, probably around 10, 12, around that age. But it just dawned on me what I was saying in the words, "Oh, come all you faithful." And you can read through the hymn. I tell you, just reading through the hymnal, especially about these Christmas songs, just reading the words is a very spiritually emotional experience for me. We get so used to singing them that sometimes we don't actually take the time to read the words that we're actually saying. And I just remember being really affected as a young teenager. You know, I should have known them all, earlier than that. But we get so used to hearing them, we just don't pay attention to what the words are. Yeah. Well, thank you, Karen. She says, I love playing my flute. You yeah, get it out. You know what? And to be in all honesty, I don't play as much as I would like to. I just don't have a reason to. Sometimes, and the time, gets taken away doing, business things, crochet and serving family and family members and whatnot, which is a great thing to do. But it's fun to take it out, and even if you don't feel like you've practiced enough or whatever, don't worry about it. I mean, I don't worry about that anymore. I used to. I mean, I made some mistakes. I mean, that's just life, but I would rather take it out and play and, not do it perfectly than to just keep it buried and put away somewhere. So yeah, definitely take out that flute and give it a whirl. It's not a competition anymore. It shouldn't be. Just enjoy, just enjoy it. I mean, whether whatever you do, if you play guitar or whatever you do for fun, paint or what have you, just enjoy it. Enjoy the craft. Um, yeah, and Hannah's comment, talking to Ekstrom about the American Girl book, saying it's a fun way for young girls to learn history. And Kirsten, she's a young Swedish girl, comes to America, and for the Christmas story, she dresses up as Saint Lucia. Yes, yes. And thank you guys for the comments on the flute. Ola Jo says one of her daughters played the flute. How cool! Um, I tell you what, if I hadn't played the flute, I'm not sure I could have gotten through school. I think that was the crutch, that got me through all those classes that it was like eating a pile of spinach. And spinach is okay. It's not my favorite, but I can do it, but I shouldn't because of kidney stones, which is getting off track here. But you know what I'm saying? It's the flute was like my dessert. It got me through a lot of life that I do not want to have to relive again. And a lot of that was in school classes that were not so great. But anyway, yeah, the music got me through. Thank you, Wanda. Um, Brenda Mack has a question for me that Hannah sent. Says, "What's your take on the magic knot?" Um, I don't know if you're talking. I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about, Brenda. I don't. Um, I don't dabble in a lot of other people's channels. So if you're talking about a way to connect yarn, kind of like the Russian join, um, I don't know. I've seen that. I would much rather have a larger knot and hide the loose ends, I think. Personally, I have seen things come undone. You know, you can do it, pull it real tight and all of that, but, I'll just leave it at that. If that's what you're referring to, how to join yarn. I'm not afraid of knots. I can hide them just about in anything. Um, yeah, now if you're changing colors, I think I'm enjoying not tying knots, but I think if you're tying okay, the magic knot, yeah, I'd have to look at that again. But if it's some of what I've seen, I would much rather hide loose strands. That would be my preference. I feel like that's just a safer way to go. But that's just my opinion. Maybe there are other people on other channels who or have much more expertise than I do and never have a problem with that. Yeah, I'm not a fan. So I'll just stake my claim right there. But that said, if it works for you, by all means, work it. Um, yeah, that's just my opinion. Oh, that's a very nice comment to Hannah Ekstrom. Thank you for that comment. And we have Fancy Fiber Forum Donna. Wow. Good morning. So glad that you could join us. I don't remember seeing that channel here before, so welcome if you are new. Um, yeah, thank you, Kelly, for your conversation there with Hannah. Really, really good stuff there in the chat. And Sandra says, "Good morning, Bonnie and all. May I ask that she say prayers for my daughter? She's having a very hard time recovering from stomach issues. Thank you so much." Um, Let me write that down. Hold on a second. I have to write this down because I won't remember. Otherwise, that was Sandra Harper. Certainly will. Certainly will add her to the list, Sandra. Thank you for letting me know. And oh, Brat's mom says, I love Christmas music. You can move in with me and play music 24/7. And let's not forget the old Christmas movies. Oh, yes, 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 yes. We've been it's kind of fun because it's my husband and I mostly by ourselves in the evening now, which is really weird, having raised 5 kids and haven't had a household just filled with up to 9 people at a given time. But it's come back really to the two of us, even though our son is with us sometimes. He's going to be getting married soon, so we've been working our way through some Christmas movies. We got to see White Christmas this week. We watched one of my all-time favorites, which is While You Were Sleeping with Sandra Bullock and Bill Pullman. That's probably got to be one of my all-time favorites. Now we watched some others that have some language and material, but it's a guy kind of a movie, and it's kind of fun for me too. Um, it's Okay, again, I cannot give this a wholehearted endorsement, and it's not for children. But the movie Die Hard, if you've ever seen that, it's probably best watched with a filter, because there are some language issues in there. But it's kind of funny. My daughter-in-law bought my son um, a Die Hard advent calendar. Yes, there is such a thing, and it's basically the big building and oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm telling you this. It's so dark, but it's hilarious. And all I got to say is it involves Hans Gruber's descent, and that's all I'll say about it. Um, but it's one of those guy kind of movies, and that's all I'll say about it. But we've been watching other movies as well. I can't remember I've seen so many in the last week or so. I've just really enjoyed watching them. And when I have a lot of crocheting to do, it's kind of fun to go on, Prime or, and watch, a Christmas Hallmark kind of style movie. I'm a sucker for things like that. I love predictable. I love happy endings. And I love it when the story is told without a lot of um, what's the word? Um, they keep it above board, they keep it clean, and they keep it honorable. Maybe that's the word. I like it when the stories and the relationships in there stay honorable. I just leave it at that. Where the women are treated as ladies and the gentlemen act like gentlemen. Hannah's asking me if I've seen Holiday Inn. Yes, I have. I haven't seen it this year yet, but I know that that was filmed on the same set as White Christmas and has Fred Astaire and Bing Crosby. That would be a lot of fun. Although I love, I love watching White Christmas. Bing Crosby and okay, who's the other actor? Hannah. Brain is slow. He was at college um, my college graduation. He was one of the speakers. Danny Kaye. I remembered it before you emailed me. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And Hannah says, yeah, it's also done by yeah, Danny Kaye. Hannah says, are you serious? I can't remember Danny Kaye. Yeah, Danny Kaye. Love to watch him. My mom was so thrilled. I think my mom traveled to South Carolina for my college commencement because Danny Kaye was there. I don't know if she would have done that just to see me get a diploma with, the 5,000 other people that walked across the stage, but, yeah, I think she came to see Danny Kaye. He was there and, this is going way back to 1985, but, also, Fred Rogers from Mister Rogers' Neighborhood. He sang a song to us at our commencement. Very fun. And this is totally off topic. We're supposed to be talking about yarn and stuff, right? All right. I want to tell you what is available now on the site. I know you all, where'd I put it? Down here. I know you all are busy. Christmas is a priority. Maybe or Hanukkah or whatever you're celebrating. And I know the activities of holiday parties and shopping. I am so far behind on my shopping. But anyway, I did release my jeans jacket where I replaced the sleeves with the popcorn sleeves. I do show you how to do this. There is not a pattern available, and that is on purpose because every sleeve of every jeans jacket is going to be slightly different depending on what you're working with. But I do lay out some basics on how I connected this. But I will want to show you that I hand stitched this one. Hand stitched this, eased in the fabric as I added it onto the sleeve. And so you'll see from the video just how to make your crochet match the shape of your sleeve by cutting your sleeve a certain way and making a template or a pattern for what you want to duplicate. So it's just a matter of duplicating it and by adding stitches or subtracting stitches when you do the shoulder cap. I know sometimes people add crochet by just poking holes in the actual um, jeans fiber, the denim fiber, which I find that a very difficult way to do that. And a lot of the tutorials that I've seen on YouTube doing just that, just adding crochet, just sticking it in. And I just don't see how that can possibly be even, or at least as even as just, you can just hand sew, or if you're really good at doing machine sewing, you can machine. So I sewed some of this by machine, but then I resorted to just going to sewing it by hand. And as you can tell, you really can't see the stitches. See, I'll prove it to you. My stitches are not that great, but this is hand sewn. But you don't know, you wouldn't know on the outside. And I always leave a little bit of a seam allowance here of the one, um, just one thickness of the denim, because this part here, you just about need a diamond, a needle as hard as a diamond to get through multiple layers of denim. I have broken needles trying to trying to sew things onto denim. Also, my one of my sons was into Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and I had to try to machine sew, and I think I eventually did it after breaking several needles, but trying to sew a patch onto his gi, which is like it's like trying to sew denim that's like 3 layers thick at once. I mean, it's just super, super, or like trying to sew tent material. That's how thick those were. But anyway, so I'm just saying if you're going to alter sleeves like I did, make sure that you leave a little bit of fabric beyond this seam because you do not want to be knit sewing into this seam or anything because it's very difficult to get through. All right, probably that was probably too much on that, but if this is something that you enjoy, let me show you the back so you can see both of the sleeves. If this is something that you enjoy seeing, modifications using crochet, and I'm also thinking about working some projects where I'm actually adding crochet on to the back side. I have something over here. I'm not quite ready to show you yet, but I'm going to be working that in the coming year. If that's something that you want to see more of, let me know. And I'll definitely gonna continue. I am going to continue exploring the possibilities of this. And if you're looking for inexpensive jeans jackets, I mean, this is not the most stylish jeans jacket available, and it's certainly not one of those expensive Italian uh, versions, where it's a couple $100 or even 70, 80, 100, like for a Levi's jacket. This is not one of those, but I'm enjoying using these. I purchased these at a store called Charlotte Russe, Russe. There's one in Myrtle Beach. You can Google that, Charlotte Russe. They have it's like an extreme discount kind of a store, and I think I paid around between $10 and $12 for this particular one. And again, I purchased several of them because I'm going to be cutting them up and I'm going to be experimenting, and I didn't want to do that on jackets that cost nearly $100. I mean, I'm not going to be messing with those too much at first. Um, but anyway, that's where we are headed. Okay, so what else did I want to tell you guys? Ooh, we're getting late. Also, let me show you just to stay on crochet track here. In case you missed it, the Celtic Star shawl. And again, this is one of those shawls that can be really made to any size you want. You can make this bigger, smaller. You can make it as a scarf. You can, make it touch the floor if you want to. I used, this is using the Celtic weave stitch. And this is using a fingering weight yarn. With this stitch, even fingering weight yarn looks thicker than you would expect. But if you wanted to work this with thicker yarn, you're going to get a thicker textured product. But if you want to make a big one, made out of, let's say, worsted weight yarn, go for it. And yeah, and you'll have less crocheting to do because you'll be using a bigger hook and thicker yarn. But and this can also be something that you use for your stash buster if you want to, make, change the colors. Just to let you know, the stripes will come out like this because that's the way this is worked. Starting in the center here, where is it? Right up here, starting in the center, and then working your way out. All right, so that's available on our YouTube channel. The written pattern is at Etsy. It's also in my Lovecraft store. And if you are a watch subscriber, the pattern is complimentary to you. And for those of you who don't know what is she talking about, the watch channel, as in watch, WATCH, bonniebaycrochet.com. There's a link in the video description. This is a paid subscriber based channel. There are no commercials. There are a lot of extra things on here that don't appear on the public YouTube channel. Yes, there is a cost. It is $7.95 a month. We're going to leave it the same, even though inflation has done its inflating thing, making the US dollar worth a little bit less or a lot less in some cases. We are just going to maintain the $7.95. We're not going to increase it for this coming year, or at least not yet. So if that's something you're interested in, it's also $79.50 per year. It's cheaper if you buy a year's worth. There are no commercials. There are no spam. We don't track you. We don't send you continual emails and text messages. We just don't do that. Um, and there are many, many, many PDFs that you can just download, and have the patterns too, so you add to your pattern collection. And all my patterns that are available there, of course, have complete video tutorials, and we have monthly Zoom classes and or a meeting. So the month of December, we are going to be having a Zoom holiday hangout. It's going to be mostly a social time. You can ask me any questions you want. We can, talk to each other, maybe share Christmas stories, maybe not. I mean, it's just whatever you want to make of this. I'm leaving it up to whomever shows what we want to do, talk about. Um, it could be also a time for answering questions, or just getting to know each other better. And that's going to be this coming Monday, December 16th, from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern time. I will be sending out the Zoom link to the Watch channel subscribers. So be on the lookout for that in the next day or so. I will be sending that out. So you can join us. You don't have to email me and all of that. I'm just going to send the link out to everybody, and whoever comes, comes, and we just have a fun time. So, and again, that's the Zoom holiday Zoom hangout is going to be Monday, December 16th from 2 to 4. It's Eastern time. So if you're in the West Coast, make sure that you adjust for the Eastern time zone. All right. And if you're looking for quick and easy gifts, check the link in the video description. I went over this a few weeks ago. I showed a bunch of different things, but there are a lot of easy to do, quick and easy, inexpensive things that you can make that are, I think, excellent gifts. So if that's something you're looking for, definitely check out the link in the video description below. All right. Um, Phil wants to know what kind of excuse me, projects am I preparing or planning for next year? That's a good question. Let me know if there's something that you would really like to see. Let me know, Phil. Just email me, bonniebay@me.com, and let me know what you'd like to see. I do have an Irish throw for January. I've got at least two scarves with Celtic cabling design in the lineup. We have a collaboration for the month of February with Tiffany Hansen of Tiffany Crochet with Tiffany. I'm excited about that. I'm just putting some of the finishing touches on that. I finished it up just this week. I need to do some more film editing on that. And we have another large throw. I can't say too much about it, but I think coffee drinkers will love it. So that's all coming in 2024. I've got a list yay long of possibilities, but if there's a direction that you want me to go in, let me know. I still have the idea of a man's sweater. I know I've said I was going to try to roll something out sooner. It didn't happen. I actually need to get better yarn. The yarn that I thought would be good, I'm just not convinced yet that it's the best yarn to go with. I still need to do some more swatching. I just want to make sure that if I roll something out for you guys, that it's going to be, a good yarn and something that'll hold up to what you can dish out, with living and all. And I just need a little more time to get that, to get it right. But again, any of you all, email me if there's something you'd like to see. Let me know. I'll add it to the list and see what I can do. I can't make a lot of promises, but I will do the best that I can. But thanks for the question, Phil. Oh, thank you, Ekstrom. She says, good luck to my son and his family. Thank you so much. Um, and let me see. I'm gonna yeah. Yeah, I am way behind on comments here. So I'm so sorry about that. All right, where are we? Oh, Phil says, I heard a quote that has me thinking. Time does not heal all wounds. It changes you until you accept the new reality. Wow, that's great, Phil. Yeah, I think that's one way to definitely look at it. I just from a Christian point of view, I think God has a lot to do with that too. And I think knowing that, with those of our loved ones who trust in God, that there is a future and a hope even beyond life in this world. Just helps me a lot when I'm feeling sad. And I will be praying for you, just to let you know, because I know this will be the first holiday, first Christmas without mom. And I know what that's like. We're coming up on 6 years of that here. And it does get a little better, but you still have that tender place. It's still hard. Christmas Eve can be hard because that's when we had my mom's um memorial service with all my friends, and it was hard, and it's a hard time for a lot of us, but there's also lots and lots of grace. And we had a wonderful time last night with our little community group in our church that meets in our home, in homes. And just this group of people. I mean, there's nothing uh, I guess unusual or um outstanding about any of us in this group that would draw us to be famous or anything like that, like what you would see on television. But I tell you what, I this is a great group of people. I trust these people. And just last night, just having so much fun with the white elephant gift exchange. I mean, and people stealing things left and right. It was so much fun. And just being with people like that who really care and pray for us. And that just does so much, too. It just maybe doesn't heal all the wound, but it really helps us to get through, to have reasons for getting up out of bed the next day with a smile. So, um, hey Esther, so glad that you could join us today. I just noticed you in the chat, hon. Um, Thanks for checking in on everybody. um, Thank you, Kelly. Just praising God that your mom also did not suffer broken bones from her fall. I've been praying. God is so awesome. Yes, he is. Yeah. My mother-in-law. Yeah. We were very happy about that. Just wanted to be around a while, you know. And thank you for being here, Felicia. Good afternoon to you too, sis. I love that. And Vicky Brown says the act of singing, playing an instrument, or reading scripture aloud embeds his words in our spirit. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And Jeannie, so good to have you in the chat, my friend. I hope your son is doing well. Still been praying for him and hoping, things are going well for you all. I know you got a lot on your plate there. Uh, so good to have you in the chat. And Brenda Mack, glad to have you here too. Thanks again for that question about the magic knot. Um, yeah. And again, that's just my opinion. That's not law or anything, okay? Um, yeah. Oh, wow. And Jeannie says Jeremiah is teaching himself the guitar. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. There's so many things on YouTube where he could learn things, Jeannie. It's such a different world now, such a game changer when you're wanting to learn a skill like crochet or music or something like that. I mean, it's n- nothing ultimately, I guess, replaces an in-person teacher, but I think YouTube can get you there awfully close. You can get really, really close and get what some people can just get what you need. Oh, thank you, Jeannie, about the knot thing. Yeah, maybe I just didn't learn how to do it right or just haven't done it right. I've tried some of all these different things for myself a time or two, and it's like, nah, not going there. But it's nice that people have options like that. And I think sometimes it's like crochet hooks. People, um, it's all or nothing for for how you feel about things, and it's like that's fine, that's fine. But a lot of it just comes down to good old muscle memory. And Joyce Jesus Joy 7, good day to you too, my friend. She says, I pray everyone is doing well. We finally received some rain overnight in San Diego. Oh, yeah, we were swimming in it here on Wednesday. We had lots and lots. Uh, and Hannah says, Die Hard. Eh." She's like, it's an intense movie. Yeah, it sure is. I mean, like, again, I almost hesitate to I guess, like, it's a confession of sorts that, yeah, I can kind of enjoy, some of the Bruce Willis at times. I mean, he's definitely over the top, but, anyway, it's one of those traditions, I guess. You can love it or hate it. Looks like Hannah kinda giving us the tongues out. She doesn't like that one. That's alright. And it is intense. Even though I know that everything's gonna be fine in the end, yeah, it's definitely intense. Um Felicia Weatherspoon, glad to have you here. And DL Crisp, Merry Christmas to you too. I love the little emojis there. Felicia says, I love watching Danny Kaye. He is very funny. He is. He's such a great guy. Um, wish I could have met him. I got to see him at least at my commencement service, but it would have been fun to meet him in person. My mom would have loved that. And Deborah, oh, thank you for your kind word there. She says, I love all your tutorials, especially the cable ones. Hopefully, you can do one again soon. Absolutely. I've got at least three on the docket, four coming in 2025. Can you believe we're going to be in 2025 soon? That just sounds crazy. I still remember Y2K. We thought the world was going to implode in the year 2000, but apparently it didn't, which is good. Anyway. Um, we're getting a little bit late here on time, but let me try to get to as many people. We have Christine from Ohio. She says, late today. My favorite Christmas movie is Christmas in Connecticut, 1948, I think. Yes, that's another excellent one. We watched another movie. Um, we watched Home Alone. Now, that was not one that I watched with my kids, and I really don't like the way the family is so snarky, to use a modern word, with each other. I'm like, ugh, they really were mean to each other. But the antics that are in this movie with those other two robber actors are just hilarious. Um, so we watched that as well. And when I was in Georgia, my daughter-in-law, is it my daughter-in-law? Yeah, my daughter-in-law and my son and I watched Elf. So I got to see Elf. You're gonna laugh. For the first time, I got to see Elf, and I just thought that was an endearing movie. Now, my husband has no interest in seeing that movie whatsoever. But if you've never seen Elf, I mean, I know it's kind of a silly premise, but it was so sweet. It was so cute, and a lot of and I didn't find very much inappropriate humor. It was really fun and, pretty clean for the most part. So I was really enjoying that one as well. I mean, I know that's anyway, that was a fun movie. Let's see what we got here. Oh, thank you, Ola Joe. You're so sweet. Um, oh, and Deborah says, I even got your crochet hooks you use and find them ideal for making the cable blankets. Yay. Well, I'm glad those are working out for you. I don't know if you're talking about the ones from Knit Pro or the Susan Bates, but basically the inline hooks. Yeah, I can use whichever as long as it's an inline hook. Um, oh, thank you, Rebecca Cooper, for your kind comment there. You are so sweet. I appreciate that. And thank you, Deborah, for your support on she says she bought 3 of the cable blanket patterns. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It helps me to continue to do what I do full time, and I love doing that. And thank you, Jesus Joy, about the shawl for the sweet comment. Um, and let's see, Nessa says, Hi, everyone. Sorry I am late. Yes, Christmas without my mom is really rough. Mom passed away on the 26th in 2016, and my grandma's birthday was Christmas Eve. Oh, wow. Yeah, we'll get through it, Nessa. I think just focusing on the Lord and one thing I found years ago, even when I was in college, it really helped me to um, focus on what I could do for others. I still remember this was back in the days when you had to get pictures developed um, with film. And I remember one year I was a college student, didn't have really any money to give elaborate gifts. But what I ended up doing is having 8 by 10 and 5 by 7 prints made of some photos that I had taken. And I've always been kind of a photo buff. And so I was able to get some of them made larger. And I think I got some like dollar frames from Kmart. If you remember Kmart, that was the major discount store that Walmart, there was no Walmart back in that day, or at least where I was living. And I just wrapped them. Yeah, I just wrapped them, and I think I may have written something with a paint pen, on the glass to the people, or a verse or something like that. And that was my gifts. But what it did is it really helped me to not worry about being all by myself in a new place where I didn't really have a lot of friends, but it just helped me focus on how can I bless these people in my life. And by staying focused on that instead of on what I lacked, that it just really helped me to get through. And I've done that with crochet as well, just to help me focus on loving people instead of on, gee, poor me. I don't have this or this, or I miss this person or whatever. And yeah, it's natural and it's great to grieve, but it just really helped me, to just try to focus on, yeah, on others. How can I bless them? So you guys probably, you all know that. You probably got that down, could probably teach me a few things about that, but, yeah, anyway, that just helped me a lot. I still remember what it felt like waiting in line, to get to talk to the lady to see if my prints had come in yet, and, picking them up, and I even remember, I think at one point having to ride my bicycle to the store to get them, back in the day. I don't think I had a car back then in college. Oh, sorry, Cynthia. She said she lost her sister on Christmas Eve 3 years ago. Oh my goodness, that would be so sad. So sorry about that. Um, so sorry for your loss. Yes. Um, and Jesus Story 7 says it's nothing like a good home church family. It's all about community, helping, loving, praying, and serving. Yeah, I agree. Just giving of yourself. It's funny. Was it Jim Elliot says, "He who is no fool, who gives up what he cannot keep to gain what he cannot lose." So, so yeah, that was Elizabeth Elliot's husband. I told you about that last week, seeing the display down there at the Biblical History Center down in LaGrange, Georgia. Um, yeah, thank you for your encouraging words there, Hannah. And Jane says, "Hi, good to catch you before you go." Well, so glad that you can join us, Jane. And let's see. Nesta says, "I don't think I have seen Elf yet." Yeah, it's not one of the top 10 even that I wanted to see either, Nessa, but it was one of my daughter-in-law's favorites. So I wanted to find out why is it one of her favorites. And It I found it to be very delightful. I generally don't like movies that tend to be real crude and just mean. I don't need to watch stuff like that. But this one was fun. I will say I probably I cannot endorse the main character as an actor in other things, and I don't want to. I know that some of the other things he's done is largely inappropriate, but this one was actually fairly safe. Yeah, Lynn says, "Home Alone upset me. Not sure how anyone could overlook a child." Yes, I know it's supposed to be funny, but yeah, I get that too, Lynn. Yeah, but the whole movie is just it's not exactly a model family. They have money, but they they need a lot of other stuff. It's definitely not a model family. That's all I'll say. But yeah, I think if you yeah, if you can't take it as a super serious movie. But yeah, I understand. And that's what's so great if you don't want to see it, you don't have to, which is nice. And yeah, it's not one of my more favorite ones. But it is, yeah, I from a filmmaker point of view, it's very clever in some ways. Um, but certainly the family could could learn to apply some biblical wisdom, which they definitely don't. That's for sure. Um, let's see. And Sandra, thank you so much for your comment there. And yeah, you definitely have a blessed weekend. But let me go ahead and I want to read the words to one of the hymns that I or Christmas carols or hymns, whatever you want to call them, that I was able to play earlier in the broadcast. And if you've just joined us now, I did start the broadcast with a couple of Christmas carols on the flute. But this is Come Thou Long Expected Jesus. And this was written in 1744 by Charles Wesley, or at least that's the date that they're giving us here. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and just read the four stanzas. Come, thou long expected Jesus, born to set thy people free. From our fears and sins release us. Let us find our rest in thee. Israel's strength and consolation, hope of all the earth thou art, dear desire of every nation, joy of every longing heart. Joy to those who long to see thee, day spring from on high appear. Come, thou promised rod of Jesse, of thy birth we long to hear. Over the hills the angels singing news, glad tidings of a birth. Go to him your praises bringing, Christ the Lord has come to earth. Come to earth to taste our sadness, he whose glories knew no end. By his life he brings us gladness, our Redeemer, Shepherd, Friend. Leaving riches without number, born in a cattle stall. This the everlasting wonder, Christ was born, the Lord of all. Born thy people to deliver, born a child and yet a king, born to reign in us forever, now thy gracious kingdom bring. By thine own eternal spirit, rule in all our hearts alone. By thine all sufficient merit, raise us to thy glorious throne. I just love, love, love the words of this song and just how it describes, the purpose of Christmas and Jesus coming. Well, there is one thing that I forgot to tell you all about. I didn't add it to my list, so it kind of left my mind. But if you're in Gaithersburg, Maryland, there is a brand new yarn store, local yarn store that is absolutely fabulous, gorgeous. 3 classrooms where the doors can be closed and where you can have private, classrooms, so, free of distraction from people coming in and going. And um, I got to visit it yesterday. It's in the Muddy Branch. Let me see. It's 816 Muddy Branch Road. It's in the Muddy Branch Square Shopping Center in Gaithersburg, Maryland. So if you're in the Maryland, Virginia, DC area, and you're looking for a beautiful new store to check out, it's called Knits and Pearls. Say plural on those. Knits with an S and Pearls with an S. So definitely stop in and check out their website. Stop in the store if you can. Tell them Bonnie sent you. I have my eyes on some of the yarns that they have there. They have a new yarn there, but it's a blend that they had made for the store. It's a blend of merino wool and hemp, and this will only soften as it's washed, but even in its current state, beautiful yarn. The hues of this yarn are just wonderful. And I have my eye on that for some designs in the future. And they also have some 100% silk with beads and sequins on it. That's the picture that I showed you on the thumbnail. I didn't buy any of these yet, but I'm thinking on it hard, and maybe some Christmas gifts or something. I may end up, heading there and doing some shopping there. But anyway, if you want to check out some beautiful fiber, check them out. Tell them Bonnie sent you. Well, this is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm hoping to be here next week, going going live once again, before the holidays, kick into full gear and travel starts. But even during, the rest of the December, I'm hoping to go live, for the remainder of the year. So, so if you need to take a break from all the Christmas shopping, wrapping, cooking, and all of that, and just join us and have a social time, please do. Well, God bless you all. Bye bye.